What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Wrestling. And, today I'm going to be reviewing last night's episode of Impact, which was on June the 6th, 2013. To start off the show, Bully Ray comes out with a very good promo. Bully is always good, solid mic worker. I've noticed that about him and Devon ever since they split up as a tag team and became single competitors. They've learned how to talk on a mic, which I always thought as a team they always knew how to talk on the mic. But I'm glad to see that both those guys are holding themselves as individual competitors. Bully being the TNA heavyweight champion, and Devon was the TV title champion. But first match now let's talk about the promo a little bit more. The promo, Bully pretty much just went out there and said how he beat Sting up and how he forced Sting to retire, because there's rumors about Sting retiring now. And, this leads Hogan to come out, and he gets Jeff Hardy out there, and he ends up making a match, a ladder match, actually, but there will be a hammer hanging from the ceiling. But, that will be the night's main event. And then the very first match of the night is Hernandez versus Chavo Guerrero. Hernandez wins that one with a quick roll-up on Chavo. I thought it was a very quick and entertaining match. It shows the luchador style off very well. TNA does a great job having their Hispanic wrestlers come in and show new styles of wrestling, and it was a great match in my opinion. Hernandez goes on to qualify for the Bound for Glory series, and I don't think Hernandez will make that big of an impact in it. He'll probably be in the middle of the pack, but hey, stranger things have happened. I mean, hey, Robbie E did get 5 points last year, right? Then, before we go to commercial break, we see Rampage Jackson show up, and he shakes James Storm's and Gunner's hands, and then we go to commercial break. And whenever we come back to commercial break, Devon comes down to the ring and starts talking how Abyss stole his title and how he wants his title back. And Devon's getting a lot of heat from the Georgia fans, and it's great. And because to start the promo off, Devon says all the jackasses in Georgia better know that when he gets in the ring, they need to sit down and shut up. That's a great way to start a heel promo, and that's a great way to get some heat. But Park comes down to the ring, and Park says what Devon and Aces and Ace did to him Sunday was first-degree robbery, which is talking about them attacking him before the match. And I found that line great to go along with the Joseph Park character, since Joseph Park is a lawyer. Just find it great promo work. Devon and Park do get in a little scuffle, but Devon ends up getting the upper hand. He busts Park's lip open, and this sets up the whole Abyss situation now. And it's just great promo work, in my opinion, by Park and Devon. I'm kind of excited about this feud between Devon and Park slash Abyss. I think it's going to be a great. I think it could be a great feud, and it could have some very entertaining segments, especially on the mic, because Devon is showing that he can be a decent mic worker. While the Park character is very interesting. They need to sooner or later reveal that Park is actually Abyss, but Park is not bad on the microphone. Who would have thought the guy that plays Abyss is actually pretty good on the mic? But we go to the commercial break, and we come back, and Nux and Devon searching for Abyss, can't find him anywhere. Then, we leave that segment and go back to the ring, and Robbie E's standing in the ring talking about he was the MVP of last year's Bound for Glory series, winning 5 points. He says he might even get 10 or 20 points this time, or even 2,000, 20,000. Then he says whoever his opponent is, they're going down tonight, bro. Samoa Joe's music hits, and then Robbie's death warrant is signed and sealed and delivered. Samoa Joe just makes quick work. He wins with the Cornita clutch, which is just a rare naked choke. And it's just a squash match. Samoa Joe just looks like a beast in this match. Is it just me, or I'm a big fan of Robbie E. I think Robbie E could have a good character if he'll drop the Jersey Shore gimmick and the comedy act. I mean, I think the guy can actually wrestle. I mean, we saw last year he had some pretty decent matches in the Bound for Glory series. So I mean, I think the guy is not a bad wrestler at all. I think he's very entertaining on the mic. Um, they just need to get that comedy character off of him. Then he would be a pretty decent, mid card guy instead of a lower card squash guy. Um, then we go to commercial break. Then we come back and it's just a little knockout thing going on backstage, and it's Mickey and Velvet having a conversation, and it's not entertaining. Um, let's see here. All right, here we go. Then JB announces Rampage Quentin Jackson, or Quentin Rampage Jackson. Excuse me, I got his name backwards. Uh, he comes down to the ring, and starts he just starts hyping himself up as a wrestler. It seems like, and he says, he wants to be the best, and to beat the best, you got to be the beat the best, you got to beat the best. And who else comes down? Kurt freaking Angle. Man, that would be an awesome match to watch, especially like if it's like an amateur wrestling match. That would be an awesome match to watch. I mean, just imagine all the takedowns and stuff like that. Um, Kurt and Rampage just end up staring each other down, and Kurt gets into Rampage's face, and I just feel like something's about to happen, but nothing really happens. It's just more of a respectful welcoming by Kurt Angle, and Kurt saying, whenever I feel like you're ready, I will fight you. And it's just, man, it's awesome. Um, the the announcers end up hyping up the main event for the night, and we see three new champions crowned at Slammiversary, which is Gunner, James Storm, and Chris Sabin, all walking down to the ring for a six-man tag team match. The Dirty Hills and Kenny King. I love the name of Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. The Dirty Hills. That's just so awesome in my opinion. It's the Dirty Hills and Kenny King versus Cowboy James Storm, Gunner, and Chris Sabin. This was probably the match of the night because you saw so many styles in this match. You saw the ground and pound style by Gunner. You saw the high flying style by Chris Sabin and Kenny King and Austin Aries. You saw, the technical wrestling side. Well, he's not really a technical wrestler, but he just looks like a wrestler. He's got that pure wrestling move set, and Bobby Roode, and James Storm is just always going to be James Storm. He's going to tear it up every night. So this is probably match of the night. I would rather. I understand where having James Storm and Gunner and Chris Sabin winning because it's building, it's keeping their momentum rolling from Sunday. But I would have had Brood and Aries and Kenny King win this one, but Storm, Gunner, and Sabin win. Chris Sabin, I think if I can't remember straight, Chris Sabin did drop Kenny King with the All Hell Sabin, which is just Sabin's been on fire since he came back and made his return, and Sabin will. I hope Sabin holds on to the X Division title, and hopefully down the road, that will set up how it set up Austin Aries to win his first ever TNA Impact Heavyweight Championship. So, maybe Chris Sabin could be, underdog for the future. You never know. Then we got commercial break again. Then we go backstage again for Devon and Nux looking for Abyss, and it's just it's just dragging out now. Um, then I feel like this is where the show starts going downhill. We have Hardcore Country Mickey James versus Taylor Hendricks. Now, if y'all don't remember Taylor Hendricks, she won a gut check performance, which won her a TNA contract. And Taylor looked okay, not the best in the ring. She looked alright. And Mickey didn't look like she was taking the match serious. I mean, it was kind of funny because she was sitting there applauding Hendricks for the move she was doing, but also I didn't feel like the match was a serious match. Mickey didn't end up winning, but it's just, I don't know, it left a horrible taste in my mouth. And then we go backstage again, and Devon and Nux, Abyss finally finds them, and he throws Nux out of nowhere, and then Devon gets beat up by Abyss, and Abyss just picks up the TV title and says he is taking this belt into the Abyss. Corny, but it will work. It will do. I like all the puns going on with Park and Abyss tonight or last night. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Mike Tenay, excuse me, Mike Tenay announces that next week we will see AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle in a Bound for Glory series qualifier, and also Bad Influence versus Storm and Gunner in a Bound for Glory qualifier as well. I'm sorry, guys, I cannot talk today. This is where I have a problem. Now, see, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, those are two guys you're going to need in that series to make that series very fluent and very well. But we're only going to have one. And I have a feeling it could be AJ Styles because it looks like Kurt Angle may. I feel like it'll be too soon for Kurt Angle and Rampage Jackson to have a rivalry going on. But you never know. This is a hard one to predict. You know, I could see AJ and like Mr. Anderson having a rivalry. So maybe Kurt Angle will win it. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out next week. Then with Bad Influence versus Storm and Gunner should be a great match. Bad Influence always delivers, and Storm and Gunner, they look like a pretty decent ground and pound tag team. So two different styles colliding should be great. I gotta give this one the Bad Influence. Storm and Gunner are more needed in the tag division instead of focusing on the Bound for Glory qualifier. So I'll give this one the Bad Influence. And then this is where this show just falls apart. Just falls flat on its face, and why I'm giving this week's Impact a 2.5 out of 5. This match, Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray, I love the concept. It just ended so horrible. So horrible. The match was great. It started off awesome. Then what happened? Jeff Hardy pulled a John Cena. Jeff Hardy started hitting moves out of nowhere, left and right, up and down, diagonally. He could not be stopped. Then what happens? Bully Ray gets the hammer. Bully misses with the hammer. Jeff Hardy hits the twist of fate. The hammer goes flying in the air. Hardy catches the hammer, goes to hit Bully. He misses. He misses another time also, and then Bully runs away. Then, getting out of the ring. Jeff Hardy falls and hurts himself. Are you serious? Falls and hurts himself. Now, I don't know if Jeff Hardy was just selling his, like, how bad he got beat up by Bully within the match, but come on, you were going to go and chase the guy, but then you just fall, and like, oh, I got to sell my injury. Alright, then we go backstage to see Bully running away and out of breath, yelling, "Where's my belt? Where's my belt?" Which I'm perfectly fine with. That's alright. He's being the heel champion. He's being a greedy champion. So, I'm perfectly fine with that. But my big thing is, what happens next? Hulk freaking Hogan. Hulk freaking Hogan is behind him with a hammer and about to hit him in the head with the hammer. But out of nowhere, Brooke Hogan comes out of nowhere and says, "No, Daddy, don't." And that's how the show ends. Are you kidding me? You have a great main event lined up that you could do so many things with. You can make Bully look like an incredible heel. You can make Aces and Eights look stronger. You can make Jeff Hardy look strong as a contender. But what do? You get Bully to run away to where Hogan almost beats him in the head with a hammer, which is, I have a feeling we're going to end up seeing Hulk Hogan versus Bully Ray at the next pay-per-view. And if it is, all hell is going to break loose on this side of the table. Because I ain't going to watch it. I'll watch every match except for that match. Nah, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm sorry, no. TNA, your first hour was great. I loved it. But you got into the second hour, it's all started going downhill in the knockouts match. It started going downhill in the knockouts match, and you just continued falling and spiraling down. TNA, you started off strong, but you didn't finish strong. So, you know what? As of right now, Bound for Glory Series standing is Jay Bradley, Hernandez, and Samoa Joe, and a few other guys to be announced. But other than that, guys, I'm out. TNA, do a better job, because, I mean, I'm really behind y'all now. But that's it. So just check back with me later on this week or next week for a new video, and thanks for viewing this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you can, and I'll catch y'all later.